This is Dawlish, southwest England, located on the South Devon Main Line, which runs from Exeter to Plymouth. This town and the railway running alongside its ferocious waves from the English Channel have seen millions invested to keep services running. In this video, I'll be breaking down the history of one of the most scenic stretches of the British Railway network. This is GlobeSync, and let's get into it. The South Devon Main Line, or as I'll be referring to it in this video, the SDML, opened on the 30th of May 1846, operating services from Exeter to Teignmouth, not nearly as far as Plymouth in Cornwall that we now see the line covering today. Dawlish is approximately 10 miles south of Exeter as a crow flies and houses a population of around 15,000. Once down in Exeter after a fairly pleasant XC journey for once, I did train spotting for about 30 minutes and then bought tickets on the 15-minute journey on 802.009, which was going to Plymouth. And riding down to Dawlish, you can really see how the sea could be causing problems at times of rougher waves. The bank from the train looked roughly less than a metre. Imagine if the train just got swept up in the sea. Actually, that's something that happened, and I'll be covering it soon. So we're here in Dawlish, and first I think it's important to look around. After going over to the station footbridge, exiting the station, walking down the hill and then going under the train line bridge, I made it to the seawall. The complex history of the stretch going between Exeter, St David's and Teignmouth dates back to the 30th of May 1846. However, at the time, there just wasn't the possibility of creating something to hold back those massive waves. On the morning of the 24th of December 1852, some rocks fell on the line in the same place that the wall had previously been damaged in 1846. A train running at the time managed to stop before hitting the rocks, however the line was reopened just a few hours later. Later that same week, a much larger rockfall occurred, blocking the section between Dawlish and Teignmouth for 4 days, and passengers had to get between the towns by road. On Monday the 12th of February 1855, large amounts of the wall were washed away. Even with repair work starting just 4 days later, even more continued to wash away. Passengers had to leave the trains and carry their belongings quite far to get past. A temporary viaduct was made by the local engineer, Mr. Margery, and was ready in just a couple of weeks, allowing a select number of services to pass, though some queasy passengers decide to alight and walk instead. Just a quick search on the Wikipedia page for the South Devon seawall shows 14 incidents in the last 178 years, and probably a lot more minor or even undocumented ones that aren't on the site. So let's jump into the craziest one. The weather rapidly eroded the seawall along 40 metres of the bank, and the basalt of the railway as well. First hopes were that the line would be only closed for a short amount of time, but continued rough weather postponed any repair work to be done. Now think about the amount of time that this line was closed for, and I can almost guarantee you didn't think it would be over 2 months. Comment down below how long you thought it would be closed for. On the morning of the 5th of February, the damage was reassessed, and on the 6th, more large waves caused additional damage to the station, seawall and tracks. The DFT said in quotes, it was their most pressing issue, and that it will be fixed shortly. But equally, it is important that we look at long term as well. Repairs were finally finished in early April, and the line and station were back up and running with the 5:34 Exeter St David's to Paignton service, marking the first in over 2 months. Personally, I'm not much of a train spotter. I prefer to ride around the network, but for those people who are watching this video, I would give Dawlish a solid 9 out of 10. There is the sea and waves from it, the path where you can see and film trains from up close, and in general, a very scenic part of southwest England. The only downsides is that it could be slightly too far away for some, and maybe more rolling stock could be nice, apart from the current 8OXs, Turbo Sprinters and Voyagers. Something that I didn't mention until now is that I also booked tickets along one stop to Teignmouth, where I could see the wall further, and here's a few clips from that. Well, that's all for today. You've been watching GlobeSync, and goodbye.